Next on Worcester News Tonight, strong winds cause damage across central Massachusetts. A look at some of the mess left behind. Plus, a Worcester City Councilor is looking for answers about the future of the Midtown Mall. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Anna Botari. High winds hitting the area tonight. Damage reports came in throughout the day with wires down and trees on houses. We begin tonight in Worcester, where a massive tree uprooted and fell onto the roof of a home on Columbine Road. Firefighters were on scene. Luckily, it appears no one was home at the time. The wind causing problems for many homeowners in the area, and thousands are still without power in Worcester County. Our Cam Jandro is now live in Auburn. Cam?
Anna, the area was under a severe wind watch for quite some time this afternoon. That wind watch has since come to an end, but it's still a factor here in towns like Auburn, and for some, the wind has them looking for an alternative place to spend the evening. A large tree lies across power lines on Auburn Shore Drive. Christopher Correa was in his home Monday and saw it all happen.
And I saw the top of the tree start going down, and I got up just in time, to see it rip the power line out and just fall, and then everything kind of went dull for a minute.
Powerful winds ripped the tree from the ground. It knocked over a utility pole in the process. Correa says his first reaction was to make sure his neighbors weren't in any danger.
Making sure that nobody was driving down the street, nobody was outside across the street, safety first, and then making sure that there weren't sparks flying, and then call 911.
The National Weather Service reports gusts were in excess of 60 miles per hour in parts of central Massachusetts, and as many as 63,000 homes statewide were without power. National Grid says they expect to be busy in the coming days.
We've got more than 450 crews available in Massachusetts and Rhode Island, pre-positioned in place to deal with the storm.
Debris from wind-damaged trees are scattered all along roadways and sidewalks. In Sturbridge, this sugar maple fell onto a home, leaving significant damage.
Looked outside, the tree came down. Quite a mess. Inside got cracked walls, a hole through the ceiling. Most of the damage, I believe, will be to the outside.
National Grid says the wind will also play a role in how quickly power is restored in the area.
Safety is our number one priority, and our crews cannot work in bucket trucks when winds are higher than 35 miles an hour.
Now, according to National Grid's power outage map, about 12,000 people in Worcester County are still without power at this hour. They say if you see down power lines, always treat them as if they're live and to call the authorities when you see them. Live in Auburn tonight, I'm Cam Jandro, Worcester News Tonight.
The wind also made it a busy day for first responders in the area. Charlton Fire Department says they were busy Monday with multiple calls of damaged trees and downed power lines. Deputy Fire Chief Jason Cantara says it was similar for surrounding towns and residents should be careful when going outside.
On upstairs, so we're not the only ones. Southbridge, Sturbridge, Oxford, Dudley, we're all running around today. Even if they don't come down large sections, even some smaller dead growth, be very wary about. They're landing in the streets, they're landing on some parked cars.
Cantara says residents should stay indoors while there is a threat of falling trees and branches. In Worcester, you could see just how windy it was. Trash and recyclables were flying around city neighborhoods. This is video on Brook Street. DPW Commissioner Paul Moosey says flying trash is a common issue on windy days.
Recycling that was put out there today, we've had a lot of comments about blowing recycling. It's a matter of fact, I was talking to somebody from Shrewsbury today. Their Public Works Department has the same issue, blowing recycling. The wind doesn't know political boundaries.
Casella was coming around and picking up today's recycling, but it appears items not in bins were not collected. A shoplifting incident at Walmart turns dangerous for a Worcester police officer. According to police, when the officer confronted 34-year-old James Lee at the store on Tobias Boland Lane, he fled. The officer chased him outside to the parking lot where he got into his car and attempted to drive away, striking the officer.
Truck
and started backing up, and the officer was behind him as he was chasing him. He backed up into the officer, was pushing him backward. And the officer kind of jumped out of the way to avoid being, taken under the car.
Lieutenant Murtha says Lee later put the car in park and officers arrested him. They also discovered drugs in his car. Lee is facing multiple charges, including assault and battery with a dangerous weapon and resisting arrest. Police in Shrewsbury issue for a missing 72-year-old man. Mark Babbitt was last seen wearing a navy blue dinner coat with tan pants. He has gray hair, is about 6 feet, and weighs 165 pounds. Babbitt may be driving a black 2011 Volkswagen Jetta with mass plate 2HX988 with the Yukon Huskies decal on the rear driver's side window. Police say Babbitt is known to frequent the Northborough and Westborough areas. Anyone with information is asked to contact Shrewsbury Police Department. In Shrewsbury, one person is dead after being hit by a car Sunday evening. It happened at the corner of Elm Street and Route 9 last night. It appears the car involved did stop and the driver stayed on the scene. No charges have been filed at this time. The pedestrian was transported to the hospital where they later died. The road had to be shut down for a period of time. A horrifying crash in Worcester over the weekend. A 36-year-old man has lost both of his legs after getting pinned between two cars in the city. Now the driver, police say is responsible, is facing charges. Our Rosalind Flaherty has the story.
22-year-old Jeffrey Pilko faces a judge. Prosecutors say he was under the influence when he crashed his car into a man, severing his legs.
While speaking with him, he detected a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage coming from the defendant's breath. He noted in his police report that the odor was so strong that he actually had to roll down the window.
Prosecutors say Pilko was twice the legal limit when he hit a parked car on Vernon Street in Worcester Sunday night. The 36-year-old victim was standing in the back of the parked car and was pinned. He had to have both of his legs amputated.
There was blood everywhere, his legs, he kept saying something about his legs.
It was ugly.
Neighbors say they called 911 when they heard a loud bang.
He was crying, saying that he lost his legs.
The ambulance came in, police.
Prosecutors say Pilko got into a fight with his girlfriend and went out to look for her.
He did say something to the police that, I don't remember what happened. I know that I did something bad and I accept it.
His attorney says he has a clean driving record. Neighbors say although it's a busy street, this crash is shocking.
We've lived here 17 years and nothing remotely like this has ever happened.
A GoFundMe page raising money for the victim identifies him as Andy Rodriguez. Pilko is being held on $10,000 bail. In Worcester, Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.
A Worcester City Councilor is asking for an update on the future of the Midtown Mall. Candy Merrill Carlson is requesting the city manager tell the council what the plan is for the mall. She says she's concerned about the several small businesses inside. Earlier this month, the Worcester Redevelopment Authority told Worcester News Tonight they're looking for a solution to revitalize the site, saying it's underutilized and underdeveloped. The same person has owned the building for decades, but the city says if he doesn't want to help redevelop it, they will seek eminent domain. Merrill Carlson says she wants to make sure they're talking with the businesses to make sure they're doing everything they can to keep them informed. Well, Polar Seltzer is teaming up with a well-known Massachusetts brewery to create a new beverage. According to Brewbound, Harpoon Brewery and Polar will launch an alcoholic seltzer called Arctic Summer. They'll come in different flavors, including ruby red grapefruit, raspberry lime, and black cherry. The drinks are expected to be available near the end of April.